The Nürburgring, 25 kilometers of pure and utter chaos. And we're here today to race GT3s against a mix of GT3s, GT4s and BMW M2 Cup things here. Today we are starting dead last as we usually do. Behind all the M2s, behind all the GT4s, I'm going to try and claw our way through the field and catch up to these GT3s out in front of us here today. We are in the Porsche 992 GT3R, the Mante Racing Porsche, driven by Kevin Estre, because, you know, he's pretty well known to the Nürburgring, and there's been quite a few things about his amazing charge at the field, so we're going to do about as amazing charge as we could do, which is not amazing at all. In fact, it's probably going to be extremely anticlimactic, really, here today. So, I guess, let's go about 10 minutes, so about 2 laps in the Nürburgring, which doesn't sound much, but again, 25 kilometres long. Longer than most of the AWRC rally stages, so, yeah, long. So I think, without further ado, let's get on with it. So here we are on the grid of the Nürburgring 24-hour layout. You can see we got M2 Cups ahead of us. I think there's only 4 of them. We've got GT4s and GT3s miles up ahead in the roads. We are starting dead last, as I've said before. And yeah, we shall see what will bring as we begin to leave the grid. Just about, there we go. Not quite. We're going to leave the grid, lads. There we go. Now we want to get by these M2s, which will probably happen before T1, and even probably most of the GT4s as well, depending on how good our start is. You can see no one behind us, but tons of people in front of us. 30th place, in fact. As we come down to the final corners of the Nordschleife, the legendary Nordschleife. Try see if we can gain a bit of time. Now, here we go. Green flag imminent. And there it goes. Green flag away, and the M4s are already gone in the dust, really. Now we're going to try squeeze our way through past the Bimmer and the McLaren. Oh, squeezing McLaren slightly, maybe too much there. Try and send it around the outside. Oh! Maybe just keeping it in track limits there on the Aston. 3 wide bullet Astons went in. Lambo has had a bit of contact there, but we're alive, unlike the bullet Aston, which has died. And now down to the hairpin we will come on the GP layout. We're going to start our rise back up to the Nordschleife. This is definitely not the second attempt at action, because we definitely didn't ramp a Lamborghini in the first one. Side by side at is Lambo! Lambo! And as we come round to the back stretch of the GP layout. Now Lambo getting a bit squirmy there with the curb. We'll try to find a way by there, but a way was not found. As we come down the back stretch now, we do have a run on this Lambo. We're going to come down, he's going to give us space. This corner, yep, he's backed out of that one there. Is now down to the chicane, very deadly. For some reason they've added a little sausage curb the Porsche has taken, and it basically just sends you off into the grass with no hope of living. if you go in there, is down to T1 we come in the Nordschleife. Now this is really where the relentless corners come. Here as you come down to, I think this is Schradenkreuz. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And now up to a part that I do actually know the name of, up to Floodplatz now. Getting a bit squirmy there. Lambo was trying to look for a place to stick his nose in, but the Lambo was not sticking his nose in. There's a fly near me. I wish that to go away, which I think it has. There was someone flying anyway. It's up to Floodplatz we go. Porsche is not in a happy place there. You got a bit squirmy in the curb. Aston, give space, please. Thank you. Gonna get a great running through Floodplatz there. Gonna maybe go side by side with a Honda here. We have, and that was dangerous. That is what kind of stuff that Kevin Estre would do. So we're just really gonna try and yam our way on now. 11th place, which is very good. Slightly on the brakes there. Over the crest is slowing down to first gear we will go. And quickly back on the throttle. I'm going to try catch up to this Audi up here, this little pack of cars. It's now into a section that is deadly hard to pass on. That is probably deadly if you try pass on. There's one corner in this section that is quite easy to pass on, but it's not for a little bit yet now as we come down. As we're actually coming up, approaching on the run to carousel. Or approaching on the big straight before the carousel. Now this, I don't know how easy it is to pass here, but we aren't going to try because usually it ends up in a car spinning. This is the corner. Try to stick our nose in there, Audi shuts the door. Now, this next section, you can go side by side, although I don't like it at all. Not this section, but after this corner there. Giving the Audi a bit of a bump, we're going to back off a little bit, lift off, just to get some vision back. It isn't the rear end of an Audi. So we outbrake ourselves slightly through there, but going to try get the run out of the corner now. Down to one of the most scary sections to go side by side on. Mark's kind of done it. There was, oh, Audi. Need to give a lot of racing room there. It's actually just going to barge our way through the middle of that Mercedes there. Nice, probably not the nicest of passes, but it works. It's up to 8th place we are. And this is the scary corner you don't want to be side by side at. Nor any place. And down this section's advised to go side by side at, especially there, that little kink. Isn't fun either. So our car's a bit beaten up. Got a bit of damage from barging our way through the mark there. Was actually bottom out in the curb there. No, car not wanting to get off the curb. Down the very famous carousel we will come. Not the very famous carousel we will come, flying off. In fact, a bit uncontrollably, I will say. Not an issue, however. As we now come up to one of the nicest sections of this track, one of my favourite ones when you get it right. But this is quite a difficult section. Really relentless corner after corner. Now that's the famous YouTube corner. That's where you see all the accidents and stuff. And around here, and all the buses going around at 1,000,000 miles an hour. and the Ferrari's going around at 2. Usually, common sight in the Nürburgring, having Ford Transits passing multi-million pound sports cars, because Ford Transits are cheap and Ferraris aren't. It's kind of one of the main points of why you'd see that. Oh, these things flying around here. I feel like I'm flying there around the track. Sometimes literally you are flying as the Audi on the dirt. Not a nice place to be. Out of corner now, down to the massive backstretch now, getting mini carousel very nicely there. Never usually get it right, but we do that time. He's going to brake a bit earlier than the others do, but we're going to try keep it flat out the corner. We will get the run on the Lambo and the slipstream as there are now. Where are we going to go? We're going to go left or we're going to go right? We're going to go left here. In fact, nicely into the path of the Aston. As much room possible. Going to duck in just slightly and duck out again. Now on this Aston up ahead, we come and crest the hill. We're nearly ahead of the Aston. Nearly ahead of the Aston. Nearly ahead of the Aston again. And still not ahead of the Aston. There's the Lambo looking for spots as the car very unsettled there. Holy moly, that was scary. But we kept it alive and up to 5th place. And now right in the back of this Merc. Gonna try dive it up the inside onto T1, and that has worked out, covering off the inside line to T2. So now it's just to get up to 4th place actually, which is good. Capitalising off several things, several factors. As we slam on the brakes, down to and rising up to the Nordschleife once again. We will start to head towards, as the time limit is actually going to be reached before we get onto the Nordschleife, but because it is, yeah, this is going to be the last lap. It just shows how big the Nordschleife is. Only 2 laps going to be completed in 10 minutes. It's going to be well over 10 minutes actually before we complete it. Probably going to be more 16-minute race this. As the Porsche up ahead, 5.5 to the guy ahead. So I don't think we're going to be catching him anytime soon. So our main goal is just to really keep it clean and see what happens. And then it's on to the very famous North Loop. We will come. And basically, just going to try to keep it clean. Try lob the Porsche around here enough to feel fast, because if you're not feeling like you're going to die every corner, you're not going fast enough. I'm evidently not going fast enough because some of them corners I'm feeling really comfortable going around there. Around floodplats we will come. The Merc probably not going to be able to get floodplats as well as I can, given it's a Merc and I'm a Porsche, and the Merc's being a lot more of a beefy car than we are. Holding pace compared to Porsche, which isn't a bad thing. The top 2 appear to be fighting. Now down Vauxhall we will come once again in sports. Actually, given that I used to hate the Porsche, I've now driven it for 2 hours of Silverstone and now round here, and it is feeling one of the nicest cars round here. Probably the nicest car I have driven so far in the Nordschleife. Maybe the BMW might be a bit better, but who knows actually if the BMW is any better car compared to this Porsche round here. BMW may be feeling a bit more nice to drive than this Porsche, but never mind. This thing can easily lob it around and it's extremely stable. Rear end, the only rear engine car. We are completely lobbing it around here. Oh, keep it clean, keep it clean. Oh, we did it clean, okay. Wasn't fun, but it's not really quick either, but we do still have several corners before the end of the lap. I say several, I mean tons. As we come round up to the run to the carousel. Oh, we've outbraked ourselves there. No, we haven't. We've done that very nicely, actually. I'm happy with that. Other than the bad line that we took, but never mind, we can move on from that now as we come round, chuck ourselves down towards the run to the carousel. Constant uphill, so you really want to get that run right. There is now only 4 seconds between me and this number 45 Porsche up ahead. Don't want to mess up at all now. That's where we come. Down and up to the carousel. Not running out in the curb there. Keeping it very nicely indeed. And lobbing it into the carousel now. Given this a stock setup, I think we are firmly pretty good with this stock setup round the Nordschleife. Who needs setups? Gonna be right on the edge. Here. Chuck it round. Down to third gear. Jumping and bouncing around everywhere, really here. This car really makes the Nürburgring feel even more fun than it already is to drive. Now, down to the big drop. We'll see what this thing can do. Gonna brake just before. Oh, it does feel rather stable on landing. So who knows what it's like actually if you go full pelt over that corner. Going to be able to keep it without braking around there. So now it's just really a massive send before, as now we're in the clear. I don't think we're going to get this guy in third, but we're going to give it a fair shot. 2.2. So we're not going to get slipstream unless we absolutely nail this corner, which we've really badly taken it actually. Going to end up losing time probably to this guy, but the mark isn't really anywhere to be seen. I can take out that corner flat. So now it's going to be really a matter of who's got the best run. It will be him, but it's just going to be also these final corners is, can I gain enough time by taking it flat out there? point it way in advance towards corner. This is the only bit where this Porsche, or really any car, feels upset. Really, but no, it's not going to be enough to catch up to Mr. Porsche up in the front. But across the line, it's only 4th from 30th in the grid. Yes, a lot of them were. Oh, I didn't see the car there. Never mind. A lot of them were GT4s and M2s. In fact, not even half of them, I don't think. No, not even half of them. Just under half of them were GT4s and that. But given that we managed to pass 18-year-old, 17-odd GT3s, I'd say that's pretty well done. Fastest lap as well. I don't know what that fastest lap was. It was definitely that second lap. It was a monster second lap there. Probably our personal best then there. But yeah, what a fun race. And anyway, we shall see you next time here. Do what everyone else tells you to do. Like, subscribe, whatever. I don't really care. If you want to see more GT and rally stuff here, that was very fun. And we're definitely going to go back to the Nürburgring and some other things. Maybe even some streams on it. Or no, there will definitely be some streams on it. I just need to get more consistent at it. Really here. But yeah, we shall see you next time. And I guess the only other thing to say really here is goodbye.